Hey everybody, what's happening? Great to see ya. Got a bunch of folks in here already. James is here. Hola, James. Great to see you. Evan's here. Steven's here. Aaron is here. Talking about some gigs. Let's see what I missed. Anything? Oh no. Oh no. Goodness. Sorry about that. Evan. Let's see how it goes, man. You know, let's see here. Phil's here. Great to see you. Don's here. Great to see you, Don. All right. Okay. So, didn't even have time to tune the guitar. Let's see if it how it. That's a little out of tune. I'll tune while I talk here. We're gonna be talking about the vault in the toolkit today and how you can use it to practice. Now, a lot of you got the vault in the blues toolkit, and this is a little bit different. This is chords and different chord progressions, and the theme for the whole chord toolkit is embellishing chords. But I have a second thing that I'd like for everyone to be able to do. I would like for you all to be able to, no matter what the song is, to be able to play the chords of the song no matter where your hand is. How many people can do that already? Give me a thumbs up in the chat or raise your hand. So no matter where your hand is on the guitar, you have all the chords you need for whatever song that you're playing. You might say, yeah, right. That's impossible, or that's way on down the road. It's not as far away as you think. You just need to be intentional about it. You need to practice that a little bit, and use this chord. There you go. Oh man, Evan, you made my day. That was funny. Dean says a little. Well, let me see. I'm getting close to being in tune here. The temperature change has got this all kind of not doing great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the vault. I have some of it to unveil today, and we're going to do a chord progression, and then we're going to talk about, well, how do I practice that, and where do I play the different shapes? And we'll be using caged shapes. You know, not difficult shapes. These are shapes close enough for live streaming, right? Close enough for rock and roll. The camera angle's a little bit different. Look, you can see more stuff. Whoa, there we go. So let me see here. Let me head over to the desktop. There we go. All right, so here's a little sneak peek of the new chord toolkit. There's a lot of different stuff in here. I've been working on the vault this week, and this is what we're going to be unveiling today. And we have the part that the folks who got the chord toolkit in the beginning, that it was all about the chord embellishments, and that's all still here. And I go through each chord by string. And what can you do when you're playing an E major or E minor chord? What are the embellishments that you can add in? What notes are going to sound okay with it? And of course, that depends on the key you're playing and all those things. But there's some very common, it's usually open strings and hammer-ons and those kind of things that can help you get throw a bunch of interesting things into your rhythm playing. But that was already there, and then a lot of people have those. The practice weeks are coming soon. We have a whole foundation skills section. This is dealing with double stops, dealing with chord symbols. What do they all mean? And dealing with smoother chord switching. That's a bonus that I put in here. And also the basics of my chord and scale system. And I've got a practice week coming for all of those things as well, too. But now, here we're coming to chapter 5, which is the vault. Okay, if you take a look here at the vault, we've got 3 sections right now. There may be 4 when I'm done with it. Backing tracks, chord library, and then common chord progressions. So if we take a look here in the backing tracks, This is more, you know, it's not strictly blues. This has got a lot of classic rock stuff in it. We have acoustic strumming backing tracks, country strumming backing tracks. We're kind of taking the whole thing as it comes. Let's pick one. So we got classic rock, Southern Road Jam, Weekend Warrior. I'm gonna let let's see here. Whoever picks one of these first. Let's see if I can get something where you can see it better. Let's go to categories, and we'll go to backing tracks down here in the vault, and they should all list. Okay, so we've got Southern Road Jam, Weekend Warrior, Stadium Heartbeat, Faithful Nights. Any of these reach out to you, let me know. So these are, and you'll see you've got the title, which is just, you know, hey, just a title for a backing track, but we've got the chord progression. It's a 1, 4, 5 with a flat 7. So there's a lot of borrowed chords in here too. So if you feel like Southern rock, you feel like country, you feel like acoustic strumming, campfire strumming, those kind of things, anything you put in the chat is going to direct me to where we're going to head today. So let's go on. If I don't hear anything from it, Cream Machine. Oh, that's one of my favorites too. So let me go up. Where was that one? Let's see here. This is burn. I passed. Okay, so we're going to do Cream Machine today. So this is a 1, flat 3, flat 7, back to 1 chord progression. So let's pick a key. It's in A major, the very first one. So we'd have a 1, a flat 3 major, which is a C major, a flat 7, which is a G, and back to 1. But now we have it in the style of Cream. So let's see what happens with this here. So we have this chord progression. So 1, an A going to a C. That's not normal. It would usually be a C sharp, right? So this is a C, where this is a borrowed chord from the minor, right? So this is we have a 1 major, borrowed chord there, a borrowed chord from the minor as well too. The G, that's a flat 7 there. So we have 2 borrowed chords in this. So we're not just doing the same old chords in these things. We're doing some things that you might find in different chord progressions, right? Meaning I could play this in major pentatonic or minor pentatonic. It has elements of both. Let's see here. C, right? No, we're doing A. Here. Back and forth from major pentatonic to minor pentatonic, but we're thinking more about the chords in this one. So let's go back over to the toolkit here. So I found something I want to play. I want to play this Cream Machine song. I picked the key of A. You could pick any key. It's just like all the other ones in the other toolkit. We have all 12 keys. They all sound nice with these. Then they're all about 10 minutes long. And so then what we're going to do is I'm going to head back over to the vault. I'll go up to categories. That's an easy way to get to the vault. And I'm going to say, okay, well, I've got, let's see here. Did I do this one? Comment corporate. Let's do my chord library here. So these are mostly major chords across the fretboard. So I'm going to hit my major chords here. And this is in A. So here's where all my A chords are. Now, when I go here, I've got one at the open position. I've got one, a G shape at the 2nd fret. I've got one at the 5th fret, which was the one I was playing. I've got one up here. I've got the C shape, and then finally the octave of that. And all of these chords together on one fretboard. That way we can start to see how they work together, how we can maybe work up through the different chord progressions there. Now, I don't know if I have this one finished yet with the progressions, but I will show you the progressions that I did have for today to demonstrate. I've got them all finished, just don't have them all up yet. So this was, okay, so we're going to go to the common chord progressions here. The one I have is 1 flat 3 4. So it's kind of close to that one. So we're in the key of A. So I'm going to hit A and boom, it's right there. And here is something similar to that. If you go across here, we've got the A major, which is the 1. The C major, which is the 3. Now this one goes to a D instead of a G, and D. Back to the 1. So this is pretty similar. I'll have the one for the Cream Machine this evening there. But if you notice, these are all at the same area. 2, 3, 2. If we go to the next row, this is how you play this chord progression at the 5th fret. You got your major chord, A major at the 5th, G, G shape, C major at the 5th, and then your A shape, D major. What if I wanted to play it up at the 7th fret? Here I have my A major, and then my C, my D, there it is, G shape, and then back to A. So let me show you these up close. So here is, I'm just going to go through this whole thing. So we have my A major here, C, D, back to A. Next position, C, D, back to A. Now we'll go up to the 7th and 8th fret. Now we'll go to the 10th, the 9th and 10th fret. Now up here at the 12th fret, a little out of tune there, but hey. Now, there you go. I've got this song that I'm working on, Cream Machine. It's got a chord progression, something similar to this. Right now I've got my chords all across the fretboard. If you were if you've been working with your full scales, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, which I know most of the people here who are in the chat all are doing at the same time, these chord progressions all match with our 5 scale pattern shapes. It's a lot of caged in this stuff. But I'm not teaching it like caged, because that's the problem with caged. Caged is the information is great. The way it's taught is kind of right? So, but what we're doing is taking those ideas and we're applying them to backing tracks, songs, common chord progressions, being able to play them all over the guitar, and also being able to relate them to our scale patterns. So really, really cool stuff. And to have this, we're going to have all those different tracks, patterns for each of them there too, plus all the individual chord shapes. So you were playing, let's see, Dean says, so you were playing the way I would play them, but are different from the charts. Well, I was embellishing them. So if you go back into the other part of the if I was to play them straight, here's this one. I could play them straight, but I could hammer-ons and pull-offs and all of those different things that are a little bit different than the charts, because we're taking those as the basic ideas, and then we're embellishing them a little bit from some of the other parts in this one too. Let's see here. So this is what I wanted to show you today. Just wanted to go through this pretty quickly, but I really wanted to spend a lot of time with all of you today. I lost internet over the weekend. So I had a lot of stuff to do and I wasn't able to do it. I was going to different working places that had internet, trying to upload things. And so I'm a little behind. I just got my regular internet back today. It was around 11 a.m. this morning. So I'm doing a little scrambling right now. But I did want to show you this. I wanted to show you all the things that are going into the chord elevation toolkit. Let's see here. Phil says he's exploring it, but have now set all lessons to uncompleted because he's going to concentrate on the blues one first until it's fully completed. Yeah, it'll be fully completed by the end of the week. So yeah, take your time with the blues one. This isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's going to grow. Actually, the blues toolkit is going to be growing as well too. There's a couple sections in there that are some little surprise bonuses are coming that way. Okay, great. Dean says, I have a problem with that G shape. It's a real finger twister. Let's talk about that. And I know I'm a little out of tune here. Let me check one more time, see if I can get this closer. That's what happens when you have a full schedule. You got to do a live stream, and your guitar, of course, isn't quite right. All right. So we're going to get into the G shape here. There are a lot of different things you can do with that G shape. The one thing that's the most difficult thing to do with the G shape is play it the way it looks on the on the page here. So let's see here. Let's find a G shape. Where do we have one? Here's one over here. This D major right here. So we have a root on the top, the bar, which is the D string, G string, and B string. And then we have the major third and the root on the two low strings. So when we get to that, let's see, let's do it in C right here. This is how it's written, okay? Now take a look at my wrist there, right? That's tough to do, to get all of those in there. But when I play the G, I know this bar chord style G shape there, I can do a lot of different things with it. And depending on the song, and depending on what I'm trying to do with it, I'll choose one or two of the other ones. The first one that you'll see is just playing the top four. It's the D string, G string, B string, and high E string. All right, so you get the root up here, the major third, the root, and then the fifth. So if we have let's see here, G. This can be really sharp, and especially with this high note there, it's pretty nice. Next, you could just play these notes, the D, G, and B string, barred. Why? Because what do we need for a G chord, right? What are the things that are needed to be able to play a G chord? Let's see here. So what we've got here is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, 1, 3, and 5. This is a G, a B, and a D. So a G major triad has these three notes in it, okay? So no matter what we play, we have to have those three notes, but not exactly as well. Here, let me put that back there. So we don't exactly have to play all of them if we have some other instruments playing, right? So the root can always be left out, especially if you have a bass player, right? So you think, oh, the root's the most important thing. It's the most consonant sound. But if I have, here, let me do a loop here. So that's a little G with a little bass, right? So here's my G shape up top here at the 12th fret. And let me get my close up here. And my bar to be in this position pattern is the 12th fret, D, G, and B. The fifth, the root, and then the major third. And I'm doing like a hybrid approach to that, right? Now I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to start the loop again. I'll play this one, and then I'll just play the next one without the G, just the double stop without it. And let's see if there's a big difference. What did that sound like to you? What was the difference? I was going back and forth. One time I would use the full chord, G, B, and D. The other time I would just play the G and the B, and I left the D out. I left I played the D and the B. I left the G out. I left the root out. What did it do differently? Did it seemed to lose a little bit of like a thickness to it, but it didn't change the way it worked, right? We still had the fifth, and we still had the major third. The major third told us that it was a happy sound, and the fifth made it feel it was like a double stop, right? But between those chords, we had the bass, which was playing heavy on the G a lot of times. So if it was, that's the sound we were hearing. We were splitting the chords up between instruments there. So I can get rid of that G. I can also get rid of the D. The fifth is a very common note to leave out, right? So this time I'm going to play it. I'll play all three notes, the G, the B, and the D. And the second time I'll just play the G and the B, the root and the third, and leave the fifth out. Let's hear the difference. That's everything. Function exactly the same, even though they're missing one of those notes, right? So when I had my bass line, root, hammer onto the third, and then fifth. So that fifth is actually in there as I'm letting this ring as well too. So we're getting all the things we need. We just don't have to play them all. And of course, we don't have to play these huge chords to get the good stuff out of it, right? So let's see here. A couple things came in. Steven says he's had a bit of a play with different positions, some tricky finger. It plays the G shape. Phil plays it on the bottom four strings, so we're going to get to that in just a second. Dean says 1, 3, 5, and Aaron says G, B, D. That's what we're doing, right? So let's talk about the next thing that you can do with this G chord. So we got a G shape here. Let's do it up here. This is the first one we did with the pinky up top. Now we have this. The next chord, and I play this one a lot, is the middle four strings. This is the A string. On this one, it's the 14th fret, and then 12 on the other ones. 14, 12, 12, 12. No outside strings on this one. Has a kind of a filling sound to it. Has a very Hendrixy kind of sound. This little chord is a gateway to all sorts of embellishments, double stops, and the reason why is all of these chords are where the major pentatonic scale, pattern 1, they're all where it sits. And you can hammer on 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3 on the A, the D, and the G strings. Pretty cool stuff, right? So a lot of times if I see a G chord coming, I'm not going to do this big, huge thing. I might do this, or I might do this, or I might do this. But then there's also the one that I think that Phil plays is he does this one on the bottom four strings. So we've got a G, B, D, and G. This one is kind of like the piano chord. all the notes in a row. We're not messed up like the guitar normally is, right? Normally we're just lucky to get the notes for our chords. This way, we've got them all lined up. If you wrote them on a staff, they'd all be in a line there, right? So, I will also do this one. The next one here, let's go down here. See that? I'll go up to this top string of this G shape, and sometimes I'll slide up to the next chord shape, which is an E shape, right? The top of an E shape. Oh, and the other thing, you can always add this D in here too. So if this was we could do, that gets rid of the third though. So you'd have to see to get the third in there. This one's kind of nice too. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Oh, Phil says, sorry, Lee, I meant the 3 thinnest bottom of the fretboard. Okay, so this is a good thing. This is how you'll always, if you're listening to me describe things, this has happened over the years, and a lot of other people do this as well too. When we're having to describe the guitar and where we're playing it, what string and those things, we are always talking about higher or lower the way it sounds. Some people are left-handed, they flip their guitar. Some people play left-handed but have their strings strung right-handed or strung left-handed, or it becomes very difficult to communicate these things to all the different ways that you could go. So we do it by sound. When I say the high string, the high E string, I mean this one. It's not physically higher than the other ones. Physically, the big string is the highest one. But this is the note, this is the string that sounds the highest. The low E string, we're going to say down here. So the higher strings will go by sound. The lower strings will go by lower sound there. And that's also the direction. We're going across strings. We're going higher. We're going lower. So if you hear me explain something, that should help you decipher what I'm trying to say there too. So no problem though. No problem. Okay. So we've got the G there, and it's got several different ways that you can go. And once you start thinking like that, you go, okay, I've got a G shape. I can play it about 4 or 5 different ways. Can I do that for the other chords too? Of course you can. The E shape chord, I do differently all the time. So here's an A and it's an E shape, right? I can play the top 3 notes on the skinny strings, right? And let's see here. So this is I'm playing an A chord, right? Let's find out. We got an A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, back to A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're going to make an A chord. A, C sharp, and E. So those are the 3 notes that I want to have in my chord. Like we said before, you don't have to have all of them, but it's nice to have all of them. It's a nice full sounding chord. Let's see here. We've got a C sharp on the G string. We've got an E on the B string, and then the root, the A, all the way up top there. This is a complete A chord. Now, as I go down, I start adding notes from this big bar chord. This is going to give you that sound like an F in open position. It's got a you'll hear this a lot in like reggae. You know, a lot of upstrokes here are going to be playing this version of the chord. It's very common sound because we've got the root on the top. So when you hit the upstroke, the root is the sharpest sound. But you get to here, how about the middle 4 strings? That has a nice sound. I don't play that very often, right? In fact, I play this, just the notes that aren't the bar. I play that a lot. Finger, with a hybrid, right? So the pick on the low note, How about the low 4 strings? That's pretty nice. Or the whole chord. So I've got each one of them is a little bit different. Let's see here. Phil has a question. Phil says, so it's okay to play any chord inversion as long as it contains the first, third, and the fifth notes. Yes, we don't have the luxury on the guitar of having everything in order and having nice inversions of chords, right? Okay, well, here's our C. Where am I? C, E, and our G. Well, I'm going to take my G and bring it down here. So now we're going to have a nice first inversion, or and going through all that. Well, let's bring down the E now. Okay, so we don't have that luxury with the guitar. We're lucky to get anywhere, and there's all sorts of different voicings that people are trying to make solid. But I gave up a long time ago. I just need to make sure I've got the notes that I need in there, like Phil says. I need to reference the important notes, the root, the third, and the fifth. If that's what I'm going for, I might even leave out one of those here and there on purpose. I might want that double stop sound. Or maybe there's 20 people in the band and they're all playing the root. I'm going for something different if that's the case. Yeah, but we don't all, sometimes we're just lucky to get that. If you look here, James says, cool, thank you. You're welcome. It's freedom. Freedom. If you know the notes that you need in the chord, you can play them anywhere. And the best thing about it is, once you start to know and this is a big thing in coaching with me now, with a lot of coaching students, is making sure that we know what the notes are across the frets. There's a big thing. A lot of students are doing that because we're learning all sorts of scales. We're learning all sorts of difficult things. But if I ask you, well, what's this note here? A lot of people stumble about that. Okay. This note right here is an E flat. And I know that from several different reasons. I know it because it's there's an octave right above the E, which is at the 7th fret. It's below this E up here at the 9th fret. There's an octave, it's below the root. It's right next to an E, it's an E flat, right? But over time, I had to do those things. And then I started learning them across, right? There's C, there's F, B flat, E flat, G, back to C, right? So just spending time in each of the frets going across really speeds things up. And now I just look at that and go, that's an E flat. There's a G flat or an F sharp. Here's an F. Here's an A flat. Here's a C sharp. Right there. So I just know them now from years of doing those things, but you can speed them up. I find that learning them across the frets is the fastest way to know the names of the notes. You're gonna get there at some point. So we've learned intervals, we learned scales, but at some point you need to know what the notes are underneath them so you can take all these things that you're learning in theory and make use of them there. So interval shapes, those things, scale pattern, and names of notes. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Right? So being able to know these things, when all three of those come together, that's when the fretboard starts to open up for you. Okay, so I'm going to be shutting things down in a few minutes here. Had a lot of fun. We got a lot of great questions. Phil had some great questions. Dean had great questions. Aaron said, what did Aaron said? Thanks for sorting by music type. Very logical. Yeah. I thought so too. I thought it was it's going to be really nice. And all of the parts of the vault, they all work together. So you get if you're looking for single chords, we have that. You'll see how they sit across the neck of the guitar going up. But if you're looking for the progression, we'll have that, and they all reference back to the track there too. And so I tried to pick chord progressions that are ones that you'll actually play in songs and didn't just go diatonically. I want to make sure we had a lot of borrowed chords in there because we keep running into them in all the songs that we're learning there. So Jason says, definitely helps with the fourth and fifth intervals going across like that. It sure does. Good to see you, Jason. He's here. Great to see you, man. And just so everyone knows, I'll be going live this week as well too. And when you head on in here, make sure you say hi. Let me know you're here. I don't know who you are if you're just watching. All I see is a number of how many people are watching. But if you go ahead and just give me a thumbs up, then I'll know that you're here and I can say hi to you. So thank you to Jason. Thank you to Phil. Thanks to Aaron, Dean, and thanks to Steven. Did I get everybody? Evan, I hope everything's going okay with the band there. That's not good to hear. Don's here. Thank you, Don. Great to see you. And I think that's it. No, James was in here first. Thank you, James. Great to see you. And I think somebody... Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close it up. I'll see you tomorrow around this time, sometime between 4 and 4:30. I'm going to try and shoot for 4 this week. Okay, so I'll see you all tomorrow and have fun with those chords. And check out the toolkit if you haven't got it yet. This is a great time to do it. We'll be unveiling things as we go this week. All right, bye-bye, everybody.